God damn it.
The downfall to all men.
Plymouth Rock fell out of the woman's vagina and landed right on top of us, and we've been here ever since.
Wow.
Wow. Welcome to the assembly. So today's topic is. Ready? Ready for it? I was working on this. Okay, it is called "Your Dick is Valuable, King."
I agree. Yeah, this dick ain't for free.
How men should be more selective in choosing potential partners.
Yeah.
That's all. Like it wasn't bad. It was good.
I thought it was gonna be something that was.
No.
Okay.
No, I just can't tell you what it is before, so you don't get like big headed about this and be like men's rights, the whole thing.
I didn't know what to expect.
Trying to start nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
With it.
So we've been talking about just sexuality breakdowns and why men are put on this list for just having more of everything. It is not due to age. It is just due to life has been, brought up in a way that we are only seeing the male perspective a lot of times. History is written majorly in the male perspective.
Right.
So it's nothing wrong with your statistics. It's just people evolve though, so you can change those things. Every generation changes.
And I feel like this is good just because I know for me personally right now, I'm in a space that doesn't necessarily fit that whole thing. That's why I said I have some things to debate. Okay.
All right, well, we'll get to the debating. Okay, so when did you first learn about sex?
When did I first learn about sex?
When was the first recollection of this is sex? Not you know what I mean? You can go back as far as when you were a kid.
When I was a kid and I saw what was that? The Freak League video, and I didn't know anything about sex, but I knew that Esther Baxter had something to do with it. And so I was intrigued.
Shout out to Esther Baxter.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
The actual
okay.
sex.
That was sexuality. That was when you that was when you learned sexuality.
Yeah.
When did you learn about the act of sex?
I don't really know. I guess the first kind of sex thing that I saw, I accidentally stumbled upon some porn as a kid when we were playing in one of my homies' basements, and stumbled upon a box and it had some magazines. And I was like, oh, this is kind of hairy.
Magazine, that's vintage. I always wish I would run across a magazine when I was a kid. That never happened.
This was a different time. When I say this was kind of hairy, the magazines that was in there, it was a different time.
70s for it. Full bush, just all.
Yeah, and I was like,
All right.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah, but Esther Baxter changed that years later. Was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah. Shit's is alright.
See, sex and sexuality. There's a difference. Okay, all right. Okay, so we're gonna get like semi-serious. Okay, so now we learned your sexual history, which was okay. Did you have sex education in school?
Kind of, but not really. I didn't really. It was like health class,
Mm-hmm.
so that was like a little quick chapter that they kind of just brushed over.
Okay, what grade did they start?
What was that, eighth grade?
Okay, so that's almost like, that's like 13, 14 in 8th grade?
Somewhere in there,
Yeah, and you had already seen stuff.
yeah.
That's, okay, alright.
I mean, I feel like, looking back, I feel like that was probably too late, because a bunch of people
Yeah.
were all...
Yeah. 8th grade is definitely, I would say, too late. I would say a little, like, nah, that's too late. That's too late. Okay. How do we feel about relationships versus sexual conquest? Asking the king of verses, right? Do we like relationships? Or do you like just...
Now.
Yeah, no. I mean, you know.
Now, I greatly appreciate the stability of relationships.
Stability.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's, yeah, if you have as much sex as multiple partners.
I mean, okay, so like, that's why I was
it
asking.
can even out.
That's why I asked about age too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like when I was a bit younger, just the people that you're around, and it's kind of like, yeah, we gotta fuck these bitches. Where the hoes at? Where this?
Yeah.
All that. And so it was definitely more, I don't really care about this. I'm just trying to have sex, and if it turned into something, it turned into something. If it doesn't, fine, we're gonna move on to the next thing and continue going. And now, after experiencing some different things in life, I feel like I've gotten to a place where it's kind of like I look for different things now, outside of just, are you physically attractive, and yeah, I want to have sex with you.
No, that's totally fine. I think actually men do that correctly. Whereas you take your younger age of figuring it out to actually figure out relationships and how they work. That's kind of the thing that we want women to do, or women can hope for and want all those things, but a lot of times we give that up very, very early to be wanting something like so stable, and know that's good for, your health. Like, absolutely, you shouldn't just be out here going crazy without protection and protecting yourself and your spirit and your mind, like all types of things. But definitely you should have time to be like, phase it out, Like, guys do that correctly.
I can't say that.
The whole phase it out. Like,
I can't say that I had like
you're supposed to.
a whole phase, because I feel like a whole phase is just you running through people. There was never like a time where I was like running through people.
You never had a whole phase? What? That's a whole different conversation, but...
I didn't say I never had.
Okay.
I just don't consider.
We just gonna find those lines in there where I'm like,
it's by definition, I don't think, like, in my mind, what I consider a whole phase, like I said, it's just running through consecutively different people. And I feel like I never really did that, even though I didn't have multiple relationships. I was just
progressing through multiple people.
We call it that.
It's a nice way to say. Polite co-phase. It was a polite co-phase.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Everyone has one.
Okay, alright. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Jeez. Okay. Okay, so if you can politely progress through people, how do you think breakups affect you as a guy? As opposed to, we know how breakups can affect women. Like, we've seen that. But personally, how do breakups affect you?
There is a chapter in the Bible by, what's a book in the Bible? By the great prophet Nevadius. And if you go to chapter, I don't even really know the chapter in there, but talk about that. It's a certain passage in there about throwaway, you know. And if you read that, it'll take you through all the stages of how you kind of deal with a breakup. You know, you're gonna go through you're gonna go through your whole phase a little bit right after breakup.
Yeah.
And then once you all alone at home and you're thinking about what that other person might be doing, you just be like, oh, fuck that nigga, get it over with. I know you're going.
So like the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
Denial, anger.
I actually I really don't know the 5 stages of grief.
Really?
No.
Really? Okay, this is really good.
I just assumed that it was probably similar to that.
No, that's exactly what it is. It is actually a thing. 5 stages of grief. Where is it at? Okay, so 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, where you try to reason with someone. Like, okay. Bargaining. Then depression. And then acceptance. It's 5 stages of grief. Yeah?
So,
yeah.
Sums up my year. It's
5 stages of grief. Awesome. Nice. So we know how he healthily gets over his breakups by 5 stages of grief. Awesome. It's not a problem. Okay.
This is why I'm here. You're supposed to be helping me through
This is. Let's get to this next part. All right. So we see how the 5 stages of grief have happened. Did you participate in Hot Girl Summer?
No.
No.
What?
This past summer was the official Hot Girl Summer.
What
Did you participate? Did you experience any hot girls? Did they try to run up on you? They were on the loose.
There's a couple hot girls.
Okay. You participated in hot girls.
I mean, nah, like I wouldn't know. I was.
Yes.
No, I did not participate.
Did you participate in Hot Girl Summer?
In Hot Girl Summer. I did not participate in Hot Girl Summer. I was not a part of Hot Girl Summer. Some other people may have been participating in Hot Girl
City
Summer.
Boys?
By the what were we talking about? He was not a city boy. We were having a conversation about some music that was being made, and he told me that I needed to start making city boy music.
He wants to produce City Boy Fall.
He wants to produce the City Boy music.
City Boy Spring.
And I won't make the City Boy music.
2020.
So yeah, let me keep that correct, because I'm not out here trying to ruin nobody's home. Josie is a wholesome man. He was trying to get me to do the City Boy shit. Yeah. So yeah.
So no go on the City Boy
Summer.
I'm
not a part of the
City Boy Fall, Winter, or Spring.
None of that.
No City Boy season.
No.
Okay. Awesome. So, we were originally talking about hot girls from Hot Girl Summer. So you've only experienced a couple of them out here. Do you make music that affects who comes around you in those seasons? Like, do you make the music for those women to be around, or are you just making it?
No, I feel like I make the music after the
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So.
Nice. Does your personal life
Beautiful
affect? Oh, so that. Ooh. Beautiful.
Actually, no. Bitch, come hug me, please. Coming first, and then Beautiful coming after that. But continue.
I am not going to ask the next question that I was. I'm going to skip.
Why?
Because then, right after "Bitch, come hug me, please," it would have been like, okay, how do you define predatory behavior? See, and that would have worked right after.
Okay.
So I was gonna go up. I'm gonna come back to how do you define predatory behavior. Think about it.
Okay.
We'll come back. Did you have the talk with your parents? Do you remember that?
Actually,
did you have to talk with them?
Yes.
Nice. What was it like?
It was with my mom, and I believe my dad talked to me some too, but I remember my mom specifically because she had like this whole tape from the library. She had a tape from the library.
Okay.
And it was like a cartoon, like explaining how sex and where babies come from, all in the same thing. And then so we watched it together, and then she kind of explained different things. And yeah.
That's
but I was,
great.
Yeah.
How old were you though?
I know I was like decently young.
Oh.
Like this had to be like before I was an actual teenager, so probably like
Nice.
11,
In the
12.
right time, but cartoon, you remember.
I remember it being cartoon.
Nice.
But yeah.
Aw, I want to make one of those.
All right.
I want to make one. That's actually really good. Like, I have nothing like the... Okay. What was your dad's talk like?
I don't really remember.
It's just like, hey.
I don't remember like really what my mom said. I just remember specifically that there was a cartoon, and I was just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? And so yeah.
I'll look back on it later and then it'll be like, oh.
Yeah. This is what.
So those were actually eggplants in the cartoon. We
This
didn't know.
This is what happened.
Your mom was ahead of the curve. I like her. Okay. Do you think men usually have the upper hand in relationships?
Define the upper hand.
Okay, so my partner and I were having a conversation about how women, or how relationships are designed for women.
Okay.
Whereas all of the rules that are set for relationships are typically set for women, even if they were not set by women. So whether it's happy wife, happy life, no woman said that.
Really?
But a man said that in order to keep it was like as a warning to other men to keep their wives happy.
Okay, so like
No woman came up with that, but
so like,
it was in place
what's
for
saying?
women.
Like I know my dad it's a song. I
Oh.
remember him saying like in the car like anytime we come on the what was it? It's cheaper to keep it.
It's not. No woman ever said it's cheaper to keep me. Because men would see that as arrogant, okay? If you're saying that during a relationship, because then, afterward, then you'll see the cost, the toll. Because, you know, there's no such thing as a, like, woman scorned wrath of a woman.
Okay.
It's like these are all like myths that have been proven true, but
I was about to say like there's I've definitely
so do you feel like although men made the rules, do men have the upper hand in relationships? Do you believe that?
No.
You can't give cues behind the camera.
I wasn't even looking at him.
No, I'm just saying. I saw a shaking of head, and
do I think men have the upper hand in relation? No.
How do you feel like you can seek balance? How do you, like, because I'm not for anyone doing too much of anything. I feel like everything will eventually balance itself out. So whether somebody who is like extremely extroverted, they have a best friend, or someone who is like extremely introverted, like it's, life balances you out that way. So how should men seek balance in that? Not to maintain power, but just how should men seek balance in that?
Honestly, I mean, I don't know, cause I feel like men are brought up well, I know like I wasn't the majority of the men that I know around me have been brought up being like, okay, you're the head of the household, the leader in this whole situation. So you need to go and be the one to do this and do this and do this and take care of this person and all of that. So I don't necessarily, I guess I've kind of spent like a lot of time recently trying to figure all of that different stuff out, and I haven't really come to an answer. I know that there needs to be a certain level of balance between. I can't necessarily say that it'll be 100% equal on both sides.
Right. Men about their stake in life and their stake in relationships, because it is specifically designed to help the both of you. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get discounts. You wouldn't be able to get, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's life. You know what I mean? Social currency. People respond different to people who have families than someone who's single. They were like life expectancy. Men live longer when they are loved and in relationship. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But
I mean, yeah.
I feel like you should be able to have as much happiness as the person that you are with, just because. Like, it's a choice. Like, nobody forced you to do it. So, yeah, that's my whole point. Like, it's just like, oh, okay. I want to see if men actually believe that they have the power. Because there are a lot of guys who, they assume power in their relationship, and a lot of times it translates to control. But that also should work the same way for women. Like, women who exude too much power in their relationship should be looked at as control. Because it is no one person who should have the whole say over the rest of your lives.
I guess for me, like, I've been in like a lot of relationships, like actual relationships. But the ones that I have been in, like, in the beginning, I can attest to the whole, looking back, like, certain things that I was doing or saying was more so like on some, I'm trying to control what you're doing. Whether it's how you dressing, who you hanging out with, or where you going, all of this based on. Sometimes it was based on what that person was doing, but after getting out of that situation, then moving to another situation, and then kind of seeing like, okay, that person may not be like this person,
right?
So I don't need to necessarily feel like I gotta control that situation. I have a certain level of trust in this person where it's like, okay, I've seen what being too controlling or what would be viewed as too controlling would be. I don't want to do that. So here, okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about this. If it's something that I'm not necessarily comfortable with, we'll talk about it and then move forward. Yeah. But it wasn't a thing of, oh no, you can't do this. So,
yeah. You gotta be home at this time.
At this certain time, like, yeah.
If you ain't call me by this time.
Yeah, all of that.
Then you cheating. I ain't fucking
stressful.
That is, yeah. I have never been the opposite. I've never been the person doing it. I have been the person who has received the crazy text messages. Like, you didn't respond. So what you doing?
Like,
whoa.
I've been in a situation where I left and I went to my parents' house. I was sitting there having a conversation with my mom, and they called me. And I didn't hear the phone because I had to charge it on the counter.
Oh, yeah.
And they literally called my phone 179 times. 179. And then when I finally, like, I pick up my phone.
Who called somebody 179 times?
Around 120, I walked over to my phone and seen it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so me and my mom were just standing there looking at it. And then it went, stop. And then it called right back. And it just kept going up until I finally answered it. And she's like, why you ain't been answering the phone? Where you at? What you do? I told you I was at my mom's house. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, okay. All right. What do you think about yourself attracted you to that person? Did 179 times show traits of 179 times like in the beginning? Like what attracted you to that? Because I'm not gonna hold you accountable for staying attracted to that. But
I mean, that was at a time, like, that was what I would consider, like, my first real relationship. Like, I was, like, me and this person were living together. And both of us were just young, and it was a lot of different things that attributed to that. And I don't know, I just couldn't get out of that situation fast enough until I got out of the situation. And then looked back and was like, yeah, that shit was terrible.
Yeah, 179 times. Like, I've been in emergent situations. You know what I mean? Like where I've been far from family and people are calling like back to back. You know, but never have I ever seen 179.
179.
And to see it like run up is
the same person.
bananas.
We had broken up. You know, you take the little breakups.
And pauses.
So, and so I had pulled up, and we started off talking, and then the situation got escalated from certain things, and so this person dived through my passenger side window, grabbed my rearview mirror, spiked that bitch into the ground. I drove off, and as I'm driving off, I get a notification on Instagram because she sat there and posted my broken mirror on Instagram talking about tell G Scott bitch ass if he want his mirror back, he can pull up and get it. Looking back, that shit is hilarious. And me and my friend, I've never seen anything like that before. Like when I say she dove through the window, like the windows rolled down, dived in there, like Superman, and just one fell swoop, just wah, wah. And my first instinct was just pull off, just go.
You, ma'am, enter yourself in the parkour Olympics. Have you ever seen Ultimate Tag? Bitch, you win.
Shout out to her because now we're able to have civilized conversations.
You are a queen.
We're able to have civilized conversations when we do speak. It's very rare, but yeah.
Do I know her?
That was an inch. Did you meet her?
Oh, do I know her? Please, God, I just want to shake her hand.
Yeah, I might have.
I have to. This is great. Oh, shit. No, like, I also was explaining that I myself have never been a part of any foolishness. Like, I've never destroyed anyone's property. Like, I've never done any of that, thank God. I've been mad, but I have never destroyed anyone's anything. Like, I'm not slashing no tires. I'm not catching no cases. I'm not getting locked up. I'm not doing none of that. I have visions though, like, and I'll be a supporting actor. So like, if somebody, like, I'm always in a movie, like somebody called me and was like, I need to borrow your car, and I'm like, hell no, where you need to go? Like, I'm always that person, but I'm not doing it. No. I'm the person who they called and was like, what you finna do? Nope, and then hung up.
Oh, okay.
Like I've seen people after they've been bailed out of jail, and they was like, remember when I called you yesterday?
This is what I needed you for.
This is what I told you. No, that's what I told you now.
Okay. Yeah.
I have told people that somebody wasn't, you know, around when she was supposed to be around, and she just had too many people. Mm-hmm. I've been the she's not here.
I can't rock with them.
I got hey. You need more friends like me. I keep everyone's secrets. Everyone's.
I was I'm a friend like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm a vault. However,
I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing, but I'm a vault. I got a lot of info. Got a lot of info. Okay, cool. All right. Do you feel like at this moment, about to be a new decade, do you feel like you love yourself?
For the first time in a long time, yes.
Nice. Nice. This is not a competition, but this is good. That's awesome. Any advice to anyone who has struggled in that?
All right, kids.
Story time, children.
Do I have any advice for anybody that may have struggled?
Yeah.
If there's anything from this decade that I have learned, it is number one, you have to deal with your feelings and your issues. You can't expect other people to be the ones to feel whatever void or whatever in yourself that you might be missing or feel like you're missing. Self-medication is not the way to go as far as trying to avoid those feelings or anything. What else? I feel like I've been seeing it a lot lately too, like you can't 100% love somebody else until you learn to love yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's been a big thing recently, just for me kind of stepping back and I guess learning myself.
Hell yeah. That's good.
And so I feel like those are probably my biggest things.
It's really good. It's deep as fuck. Wasn't expecting that to be that deep. Kidding.
I mean, what was I supposed to say? You don't gotta be out here fucking all these people.
No, but speaking of fucking all these people, are you celibate or are you still fucking?